Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video of mine. Now, this video, we have ourselves something special. Star Wars Theory has released a cinematic of Vader Episode 2 and gives us kind of an insight into what we can expect going forward with the fan film. I really enjoyed the first one. I thought, you know, especially for a fan piece, it was a beautifully constructed piece that understood the lore, understood the character of Vader, understood Anakin, understood Padme's influence, because I feel that's one part of the saga that isn't really appreciated enough, is Padme's whole influence on the whole event of the events that take place. And I just, you know, I thought it was great. I thought it was really well done. The visual effects were great, and yeah, it was awesome. Can we get Jacob in episode 2? I wonder. Shout me out, Star Wars Theory. Yeah, man, I'd love to be in it. Get me in it, even if I'm just one of the guys that gets killed in the offset. I'll gladly do it. I'll fly myself out there. That's if everything goes back to normal. But anyway, in regards to the cinematic, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to structure this, is I'm going to tell you my thoughts. I've already watched it, but I'm going to tell you my thoughts as it goes along. And then once it ends, I'm going to tell you where I think it could go, how I feel like this could be canonized by Disney or Lucasfilm or whoever into a canon story, and or just my general thoughts around it. So, I gotta say, I respect the video as a fan production by Star Wars. Like, I understand that. That's definitely the precaution that you have to take nowadays. But dedicated to all Star Wars fans, George Lucas and Dave Filoni, absolutely 100% agree. Now, the way this opens up is beautiful to me, and it reminds me, I don't know if you guys have ever played them, but the original Republic Commando game, it had a lot of trailers for the game, and a lot of the camera angles were first-person shots of the clones inside the helmet, Delta Squad, and you really felt this sense of claustrophobic kind of environment. You didn't feel safe. You felt uneasy, you know, being shoulder to shoulder with your brothers. You know, anything could attack you at any moment, and I love the way that this is set up. And in the environment, you see the clones sort of start to be isolated throughout the building. And then it reminds me of, you ever remember Clone Wars 2003, the micro series, where Ventress starts picking off the clone troopers one by one? It reminds me of that. And Mace Windu is clearly in the offset, and he's just picking them off one by one. He's slamming them together. He, you know, then comes into the shot. They all try shooting him. He's deflecting the bolts everywhere. Saber throw, impales one, and then disappears into the ether. And then you just have a couple of clones just standing there in complete isolation. And the amount of fear that struck with these two clones by themselves is everything that, you know, it's a good thing that we have Jedi to fight Sith, because at the end of the day, if you really wanted to, you could make this a horror movie. The way the clones are like panicking all over the place. You know, they're stressing out, and then Windu's in the shadows just lurking there. And what's scary about it is this isn't Windu from the Jedi Temple. This is Windu after he pretty much has had a near-death experience. So the amount of power that Windu has probably, it's always been, in my opinion, held back by his restraint to the Jedi Order. This version of Mace Windu, you know, got electrocuted, his arm cut off by the, you know, so-called Chosen One, you know, thrown out of a window, and the scarring that exists on his face is beautifully done, and it looks believable. You know, his eye looks scarred, his skin looks completely deformed, looks like he has a cybernetic arm, and then it cuts to Vader's breathing, and it just builds up the tension for the rivalry and the showdown between these two characters. Now, do I think this could happen in canon? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, even if it doesn't, we have this to sort of go, you know what, this is a cool what-if kind of thing. But I love the way that this is shot. It's just, it builds up the tension and the fear for the clones. And my point about Mace Windu, you know, not holding back or not pulling any punches now. Remember, there was a time he was second only to Yoda. You know, that's scary. Fighting this guy in like a dark, you know, hallway with like castle candle-lit rooms. It's pretty intimidating, and just having this one clone in isolation just randomly spraying blaster fire everywhere because he's terrified and just getting absolutely slammed into the pillar by Windu and then he's reaching for the thermal detonator and Windu just blows it up. That's the kind of stuff I feel like we're going to see if Mace Windu is to ever return. We're going to see a much more colder approach to him. We're not going to see, you know, the calm, composed, take a seat, young Skywalker. We're not going to see that. He's just going to do it. You know, he's in a mindset. Order 66 was the turning point for the saga, where a lot of Jedi went a different route. For Ahsoka, Order 66 simply meant to her and Rex like everything was for nothing. It was a waste. For someone like Mace Windu, he didn't, you know, his death was the catalyst for the galaxy being plunged into the darkness. And I feel like his death signified the end of the Jedi and was such an important moment that if you take that away, you do kind of lose a lot. But we are in the age of characters returning. I mean, we've seen Darth Maul come back. We've seen Boba Fett come back. You know, we've had multiple different versions of characters. It's not completely within the, you know, it's not completely impossible that Mace Windu could have survived some way, somehow. I mean, just bringing Darth Maul back to begin with was absolutely sensational on itself. Now, the canon explanation for that is that he used the dark side in his rage to keep himself alive. But at the end of the day, guys, he was cut in half. He was cut in half. He was literally brought back for us because we only got him in the Phantom Menace. And I love that now, in canon, Darth Maul is just, you know, behind the scenes. You know, from his scene in Solo to how influential he was at the end of the Clone Wars just before Order 66 hits. His ties to Mandalore, Crimson Dawn, all of it. It's perfect. So I feel like the universe is so expansive, you can get away with doing this with Windu. But my only thing is with Windu, a character like Ahsoka you can have in the shadows because she's, you know, she's no longer a Jedi by that point. She's just a Force user kind of wandering the galaxy like a wanderer. With Mace Windu, it would be interesting to see if he still abides by the Jedi code. Because, you know, a Jedi doesn't seek revenge, but after everything that happened to him, is he going to sort of take a turn and become like a dark-sidey kind of Jedi? That would be interesting. But as far as this goes, Star Wars Theory, I don't know if you're going to watch this, hopefully you do. But this was amazing. I look forward to seeing what you have planned for Vader Episode 2. Let us know whenever you're holding auditions for that shit, because I will gladly retape an audition to get into this whenever it happens. And this cinematic is a nice little insight into what can potentially happen. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. Guys and girls, comment down below your thoughts on it. Let me know what you think about it. Do you think Mace Windu should return? If so, how? And yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've been really appreciating all the support lately. I absolutely love it. And remember, this is a place where everyone's welcome. All your thoughts, all your opinions. And yeah, you know, we can all discuss in a cordial discussion. And it's just, yeah, it's great. It's great. But this was awesome. And yeah. So Samuel Jackson said it himself, you know, Jedis can fall from great height and still live. So I'm just, you know, I'm just saying, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Do you know what I would love? If Star Wars, just for once, if they bring Windu back and they make it R-rated, just to have Mace Windu go, I'm back, you know, just because YouTube will do me for that. But you know what I mean. Just him saying that to Vader would be amazing, especially in canon. Imagine an emote for that, emote of that for Battlefront 2. But guys and girls, leave your comments down below, and remember, the Force will be with you always. And Star Wars Theory, thank you for this. You know, throughout all the controversies with Star Wars, you're one of the mainstays that have kept the Star Wars fandom alive. And from me to you, seeing your reaction to Luke Skywalker and The Mandalorian, that touched me, you know, and I think it spoke volumes for how us fans felt when we saw him. So, thank you for that. May the Force be with all of you, and I will see you all in another video soon.